Welcome back to the channel. This week we are working on bumpers. Now the bumpers on my monster truck, we make them out of fiberglass, so these are already made, and when we take them out of the mold they've actually got quite sharp edges on here because this is a couple of pieces that bolt it together, so you have to sand them down. Also we have to do the cutouts for the new bumper. So Georgina has started sanding this one. At the minute she's trying to do an email to me for a new poster we designed, which will be out later this year. I did one part of the poster, she's done the other part of the poster, but we can't both have the same image at the minute, which is a bit confusing. But yeah, so let's get on with sanding these back down, and then we can get them into primer, and then we can start laying them out for all the graphics that go onto them. So my panel is all finished, it's all sanded, all nice and smooth, all degreased, and Georgina is loving. Look at the face, look at her face. You're loving this, aren't you? Tell people what it's like sanding bumpers.
Very boring.
It's very boring. Why is that?
Because, well, I mean, most panels are alright, but because you got...
There's nothing that's smooth on it anywhere, really. Everything has got a curve in it. Everything's got a groove in it. Even this bit has got quite a curve. It curves that way and this way. So you can't use a block, you can't use a DA, you just have to do it by hand. So it's almost done. So what the idea of today is we want to get them into primer today so they can dry overnight, and then we can work on them again in the morning. So you're nearly there, darling.
Yeah.
You can look a little bit happier to people on YouTube.
Well, it's just annoying. Like, this is what we use to test if it's been sanded properly.
Yeah. Sorry about the noise, but this is what we do.
So we've got to get rid of the shiny spots.
So yeah, so that's where the shiny spots are. So if you leave the shiny spot like that, when you put the primer on it, it's a low spot, but also the primer doesn't like to stick to it, and you can actually feel that when you're running your finger across. So on mine, I've only got a couple of them, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there with Scotch-Brite and get it working. So both the panels are ready. So Georgina is going to spray this one.
I reckon I can do that.
You reckon you can do that?
I've done it before.
You've done it before, and I'm going to do this one. The primer is all mixed up, so that's in there. But got two different types of spray guns. So that's a suction feed spray gun, and that's a gravity feed spray gun. So that one, the paint goes in the top, and it's fed via gravity, which comes out the end, out the air cap. And this one here, it hasn't got the air cap on it, but this one has the air blowing across the top and comes out there, and it actually sucks the paint up. For primering, you're actually better off with that, because primer is quite heavy, and by having gravity falling down on it will help it come out the gun better. So I'm going to paint this one. Georgina, you're going to watch what I do, and then you can copy it. So are you going to do videoing for this bit?
Yeah.
Alright, so Georgina's going to video me spraying this one. Got to put a new glove on. Got to put the face spray mask on and that. So yeah, so let's get on with it. So this is Georgina's attempt. You ready? So do the edges first. Right. So when you do it, start and keep going. Don't go backwards and forwards. Stop, that's it. There you go, you now come up to the next bit. So basically you're doing this top edge. So go again. Right, so if you look at the gun, when the gun's spraying, you got the fan, you're only using the top bit, you want to use the bottom bit to put more paint on there. Well, we've left the panels to dry overnight, and now we're at the stage of giving them a quick slight sand. So we're using 800 wet and dry. And normally when we do this, if you've seen us do this before, we'd spray this with some aerosol, like matte black aerosol, to give us a guide coat so we know when the panel's flat. Now, I don't want to do it this time because if you leave any of the black behind, you're going to see it, because the next stage we're going to do, so the teeth are already white because they're in the primer, so we're going to mask, after we finish sanding it, we're going to mask up all the teeth, and they're going to stay in primer. Then we're going to spray the rest of it black and then lacquer the whole thing. So if we did a guide coat and we left any little speckles on there, on the tooth, you would see it. If you left it on the black, where this bit's going to be black, you wouldn't see it. But it's just saving an extra stage, because the other stage would be you would spray the whole thing, after you sanded it through the guide coat, you'd spray the whole thing white and then mask up the black. So we're just saving that stage, because we don't need to do it. So this is the one I've done. Georgina's on the camera. This is the one Georgina done. How did you find it?
Well, I stopped recording because I just got a bit stressed. Because we was filming it and I just couldn't concentrate. But eventually I kind of got the hang of it.
So give us the camera up, come on.
Yeah.
So tell the people what you found hard to do.
The hardest bit, I think, because I haven't done it in so long, is just try and get used to where the spray comes out and how it sits on it. And also when you do the little, on the first layer, you've got to do like this fit on all of them with a very fine spot.
Yeah.
And Dad was like, right, do that, and I did it, and he's like, that's not enough. And I did it again, and I did it way too much, and you can't really see it, but I had a huge run.
There's a run down there. You can see the end of the run there. So yeah, but
eventually I got
you haven't done it in a long time, and I think for how long since you sprayed it, I don't think it's come out too bad.
Yeah.
It's a little bit rougher than my one, so it's going to need a little bit more sanding with the wet and dry. But that was if that was your very first time of doing it, which it almost is, because you haven't done much spraying,
no.
I think that was a good job, sir. And that is one of the harder panels to spray, because there isn't a flat piece on it. It's got loads of edges, it's got tight joints in there, so it's hard to get the paint in there. The air wants to blow the paint away. So I think you've done a really good job. If that was just like, say, a wing or a bonnet on a car, they are a lot easier to paint than something like that. Okay, so the panels are all sanded, all dry. Now it's time to make the teeth. Now, this is the way I do it. Georgina never seen me do it before, so we put this piece of masking tape down for a reference, and that is so we know where the bottom of the tooth is on each one, and it also keeps it nice and straight. So next thing we do, we get a piece of tape and we put it in between the teeth.
Like flossing.
Like flossing. Then we get the tape, put it past the end of the tape, put it to the side of the tooth, follow it round, trying to find the edge of the tooth where it joins the flat piece. Then it goes up the side of this, and this is what gives the gap in the teeth. And you just take that piece all the way down. So next one, put another little piece in the middle. So this is what we call fine lining tape. So we go past it.
Oh, that is clever. Finally, just got what's going on now.
Find the edge of the tooth, go up, come down, go past it. Then you would cut those two little bits. So they end up with the bottom of the tooth. And you just follow all that all the way along. So the next one would go from here. So you find the edge of where the tooth is.
It's almost like you've done this before.
Yeah.
That's well cool.
Go up and then come down.
So, does this masking tape, the big strip, eventually you take that off? Do you?
So we take that off. That's just for it so we know where the bottom of the tooth is.
That's well cool.
Yeah. Oh, but I've already forgot to put the piece of tape in there.
Uh-oh.
So let's take this piece off. You can pull it off. Let's put that piece in there.
So look, you weren't even concentrating.
Oh, it's because I'm talking to you. Cut that piece off. Go past it. So then we cut that. We make the top of the tooth. We do that last. That top piece. So there's a piece that goes across here. We join all them up in one going and cut it, and then we just cover this with masking paper.
That's well cool.
So that's how we do the teeth. So this is my one. It's just over halfway. So all the teeth are marked out. All the back edge of the teeth are done, and I'm just starting to mask up all the teeth. So we make sure we go right up onto the edge of the fine lining tape now. Georgina, are you having fun yet?
Almost.
Almost. She's on the middle tooth, so she's managed to do these ones. How are you finding it?
It's not as easy as Dad makes it look.
Do I make it look easy?
A little bit.
So which is the hard bit? Trying to find out where the edge of the tooth is.
Yeah. And
So you're actually looking down the side, and because it's white, it hasn't really got much of a shadow. So you're trying to work out where the edge of the tooth is, and put the tape along it.
Doesn't matter that I'm cack-handed as well. It's not a winning combination.
It's not a winning combination, yeah. So yeah, but you can. The good thing about with the tape though, you can actually take it back off and move it again, can't you? As long as you don't press it too hard.
Yeah.
You can actually move it. So still got to do this one on the edge. So this one actually comes round and then just drops off and goes round the corner like that. So that is how it ends up on this one. So this one's tooth's a lot shorter than the rest, because if you'd imagine that line goes all the way along, this bit is part of the bumper that has been cut off, so it clears the wheel. So I'm going to carry on masking up all my teeth now, all the way along with the masking tape. And when I've finished, I think Georgina might be finished with this part of it. So then all we have to do is cut the bottom of the tooth out and then start doing exactly the same as what I've done there. Well, you can film it.
All right, then.
Yeah.
It looks like we got some really ugly teeth at the minute. They're all yellow. But we actually want them yellow, so that's all right.
Because they got white underneath.
Yeah. They just need a bit of brushing and they go white again. No, but really this is just the masking tape, and now we're going to paint it black.
So how was masking it up?
Terrible. This bit, doing the yellow bit, this bit was the easy bit. The edge bit is impossible.
It's trying to get the teeth even, isn't it? It's really, really hard.
I gave up halfway through.
Chickened out.
Well, I was like, I'm not getting any progress, and I keep messing it up. I thought I'd let the master do it. I'm just mixing up the black paint now.
Yeah, so we're using just a black base coat, straight base coat. So all you have to do is add thinners to it. You don't have to put a lot on, it's just so that the bottom part goes black. So just mixing that up now. So I've already got some. This stuff's already thinned out anyway, because I've used it from before.
Time lapse.
Time lapse. What? Should we try and open the tin?
Yeah.
I've smashed it on there really hard. So this one, because this is never had thinners in it, this is a lot thicker. So if you compare that.
Little gloopy.
Yeah. So and the ratio is 50-50. So if you add 1 litre of this, you would actually need 1 litre of thinners to go with it. Right, what we're doing now, I can take this off because there isn't any spray in the air. What we're doing now is we're just putting a very, very light coat. We want to keep it quite dry, You can see, look, that's not even wet now. Reason for that is we don't want it to lift the masking tape. If we put so much thinners on there, it will lift the tape up. So we keep it nice and dry, just a few coats of that, and then that'll be done. That's enough for that one for now. We'll just leave that for 10 minutes to flash off and then it'll have another coat. Georgina, you ready for a go?
I'll try.
So now we're at the stage where we're starting to unmask it. So that's all the paper, and then round the edge is where the fine lining tape is. So I have to get that off as well. Get a nice, quite a crisp line. The base coat, the black, is still slightly wet at the moment, so you just have to be really careful with it. And there's that, and there's just a little bit of tape at the bottom that we have to try and get out. And that's that piece out, and then there's just a little bit of fine lining tape left down there here. You do get, especially on those bits, a little bit of bleed through, but what you can do, if you want to, if it's really critical, you can just get in there with a little bit of either really fine sandpaper or even a bit of Scotch-Brite, and that will take it off because it is literally hardly anything on there. So it takes a while to unmask it, but the next bit's the best bit. We make it nice and shiny with the lacquer. And now it's for the good bit. Now it's to make it nice and shiny, so we're going to put some high solids lacquer on it, and that will give it its finish, and then they will be finished. So let's get on with it, and we'll video a little bit of it, but we can't video loads of it because it's going to mess up my phone. So it's now the next day. Let's see how the bumpers have come out. I think they've come out really good. So this is the one I was working on, so I'm really, really happy with that. And this is the one that Georgina did, and I think it's come out really good. So the only thing I did was put the lacquer on. She done everything else on this, marked it out, flattered it, primed it, masked up all the teeth, done all the black. The only bit I've done is just the lacquering, because we didn't want to get any runs in it, and it's really easy to get runs on it, because as I'm saying, that there is nothing that is flat on this. The only flat bit is this vertical piece here, but everything else has got a curve in it, and it's got lots of edges, lots of valleys, and it's really easy to get runs with it, especially with the lacquer I'm using it where I'm putting it on very well. The first coat is a dust coat, and all the coats from that, there's got 2 other coats on it after that, and they are fairly wet coats because I don't want to do any polishing with these because they would take ages to flat and polish properly. So we wanted an off the gun finish, and that is what we've got. So all we got to do now is put them back on the truck. So that one's going to go in for spares, and we're going to put Georgina's one on because this one is actually already being fitted on the truck. You can see it's already got the holes drilled for it. This one's just got the clearance holes where it has to go around the bumper, but it hasn't got any other holes in it. So let's get it fitted onto the truck. So here is Georgina. She has fitted her bumper. Doesn't that look good on there? Nice and shiny. So the original bumper what we had on here, been on there a while, it had quite a few scuffs, a lot of cracks in it. But yeah, really, really happy how this has come out. Are you happy, Georgina?
Yeah.
Where are you? You just gone.
Doing it up. You're
doing it up now, yeah. So it went straight on, didn't it? Really easy.
Yeah.
Which is good because everything was pre-drilled.
Yeah.
So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed what we've done. It Swampy has been to the dentist, full bill of health. See you on the next one. Bye bye.
Suck me in smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Filling the lungs inside you, and the blackened eyes make my way into your mind, just to know what you